Welcome to the Mind Matters Show. I'm Dr. Craig Pohlman, and my guest is colleague Dr. Nyaka NiiLampti. Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
Nyaka is one of the driving forces behind Mind Over Body, a sports performance program here, part of Southeast Psych. So we're going to talk about a really important issue having to do with sports and learning, and that is Title IX, a monumentally important law that was passed in 1972. Title IX prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex for all educational programs or activities funded by the federal government. And really, it changed the landscape.
It really did. I think most often we think about Title IX in terms of sports, but what it really looked at was access, it looked at resources, it looked at sexual harassment. So, you know, the numbers of women who had sports scholarships, who had entry into higher education grew significantly, as well as some of the resources that females had in secondary school and high school. So it has really changed the landscape. And
again, 1972, and you're right, that's an interesting trivia question, that sports is not mentioned, athletics is not mentioned in the statute. But nonetheless, it really did change athletics a lot. And now let's drop some knowledge. And here's a little stat. In the first year of Title IX, which would be 1972 or 73, over 12 times more boys than girls played high school sports. 12 times. Today, that gap has shrunk significantly.
I mean, now if we look at girls in sports, we're talking 3 or 4 million girls that are involved in sport at, you know, sort of the high school or lower elementary school levels. And then we look at achieving more equity in higher education. Still not equity, complete, not 50-50.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
But the numbers have increased significantly.
So, okay, let's drop more knowledge. This is an interesting fact. Girls who compete in sports get better grades than girls who don't. They graduate at higher rates and have more confidence.
The research is pretty clear. So you're looking at higher self-esteem, less body image concerns, particularly at younger ages. They have less, actually because of the exercise, they're less likely to develop breast cancer. They're more likely to become sort of lifelong exercisers, less likely to become teenage mothers. So there's a lot of value in girls participating in sport. Female student athletes at the collegiate level graduate at a higher rate than students who are non-athletes.
That's really important to note. Talk about the experience of being a student athlete, both at the high school level and at the college level, and the benefits for your learning if you're also an athlete.
I think what it did for me, and we were both college athletes as well as high school athletes. I think what it did for me was it really helped me to manage my time.
Sure.
And I think most kids who participate in sports now would probably say the same thing. It helped me to manage my time. You develop leadership skills. You know, if you know you're going to be gone all weekend for a track meet, you've got to figure out, okay, so how do I study? How do I, you know, what do I need to do while I'm there? What do I need to do before I leave? I think about social support.
Sure.
So even now, I just came back from my 15th college reunion, and most of my friends were...
I'm a little bit older than you are.
Just a little bit. Most of my friends from college were my teammates. So it gives you sort of that instant social support network, and we know that social support and feeling integrated in the community is going to enhance, it's going to increase the likelihood of academic success. So all of those things I think are important if we're thinking about sport and exercise and learning, academic achievement.
Let's drop some more knowledge. Studies have shown that female high school students are more likely than non-athletic girls to do well in science classes. So we can even get down to particular areas that, you know, stereotypically have been male-dominated. Sports participation helps with that, with developing equity along gender lines.
And there's a conversation about why that happens that way. You know, again, if we say that athletic participation helps to increase self-esteem, then that might be a piece that contributes to success in what we sort of traditionally consider male-dominated academic areas. And what we're trying to do now is, you know, they're trying to figure out other ways to increase the numbers of girls participating in some of those areas. So, you know, there's a question about what is it about athletic involvement?
Yeah, we don't know the mechanism.
and it
there's
could be a
something
combination of things.
Right.
But
Right.
it sort of blends out that way.
This is really an interesting, important topic. We're going to talk more about this in another segment, particularly the future, more work that can be done. But we're going to wrap up. Now, I got Nyaka to come on the show in part by promising her that I would not make her play a game, because we like to play games in the Mind Matters show. Well, Nyaka, I lied. You're going to play a game here. The game is called Sci-Fi for Kindergartners. So I'm going to ask you a kindergartner-approved science fiction question. Here it is. The movie Star Wars involve a hero named Luke. What is Luke's last name?
Really?
Yes.
Skywalker.
Yes! Yes, you got the question right. You got the kindergartner-approved question right. Well done.
Whew.
Thanks a lot for being here. I am Dr. Craig Pohlman for Mind Matters, where we are saving the world one student-athlete at a time.